All right. So I have been away and been really busy with other stuff. But thankfully, I do have time now. And so what we're going to be doing is that we are going to be going over Maid Velvet, and I have not gone over her kit. Obviously, I'm sure other people have, but all I've done so far is just quickly read skill 1, and essentially you just steal ammo from the enemies, and she stores them, and then she uses them to continuously like mow down enemies is essentially what I'm getting at. Skill 2 is that once you do enter full charge during the full burst, is that she strengthens allies by expanding the ammo capacity. You're going to expand the ammo capacity almost 300 rounds. For the effect 1, the effect 2 is all allies are going to get an attack increase based off of the caster's attack for 3 seconds. So Velvet's attack that you're going to be able to increase, and then by virtue of that, increase everybody else's attack, which is very good. And then you're going to be increasing the charge damage. So very good for sniper units and rocket launch units, honestly. And see here, 50 normal attacks during full burst. Looks like you're essentially going to be doing the same thing, except this time affecting herself, and then at the very end is doing a massive amount of damage to just a single target. So still okay, still very good. The full burst changes the weapon in use. The damage is going to be increased at the final attack for duration for 10 seconds, and then just boosting up your own actual damage. So she is essentially a supporting character while also being able and capable of doing just raw damage, which is honestly very, very good. So let's go ahead and go on into, I think it's this one. It's this one. Let's go ahead and jump on into the weak point here, where Velvet is actually going to be able to showcase and shine. Obviously, we want her burst to initially just see how it is, and then we'll go from there. We have a supporting character capabilities, and then we also have a sniper character. But right now, I do want to just see damage-wise what she is capable of doing, and then we'll go ahead and just go into what she's able to do supporting role-wise. So we'll just lump characters in here, not really focused on these two characters in terms of damage capabilities. What we're focusing on right now is going to be Velvet. Again, keep in mind that I'm just doing the burst initially, and once that ends, then we can have like a better understanding, a rough knowledge as to what she's capable of doing. And in terms of her own actual damage capabilities, I want to look at what she herself is able to do to benefit herself, and then we're going to swap her out with Nikke just to see what it is fully capable of doing for herself and everybody else essentially on the team. And that's what we're primarily looking at in this video, and then after that is whatever. So looking at the damage wise, we can see that Velvet has 9.4 million, and then RRH has 49.9. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. We'll round up to make it fair. 9.5 and 50. So let's go out and just rotate these two characters, Nikke and Velvet, to see what the supporting capabilities are in comparison with one another for the actual burst capabilities. I do think that in terms of viability, I don't know necessarily if Velvet is going to be 100% worth it, but this is the best way to go about and observing that to see if she is worth it or not. She might just be a character that, those Pokemon collectors essentially, but for Goddess of Victory Nikke, the collectors want to have in order to fully see and just, be able to data collect their character. So overall, we do a lot more damage. Nikke is all the way up to 44.2 million, and then Velvet is down to 4.7, and then RRH is at 57.9. But does she get the benefit of the skill 2 bullets of love? Let's see if it, okay, so it is active, so it's very good. And then that means that you also have it as well, bullets of love right there. Both times increases the charge damage, which granted is not necessarily what RRH is actually looking for, because of the fact that she deals most of her damage with the actual projectile explosions, which is totally understandable and what I was expecting, but that was like decent damage for one burst rotation. So overall, I do think that Velvet is pretty decent in terms of supporting capabilities, because we were just looking at like an 8 million difference. Now keep in mind that at lower levels, obviously that's not really something you want. You want something that is going to be absolutely higher in terms of supporting role and by, you know, versatility. So that's going to be at least all for today's video. So far, I'm not disappointed. I'm actually like, okay, like it's workable, right? And whether or not people should be pulling for her, I still want to wait before I make an ultimate determination on her in and of itself. But in terms of, like I said, in terms of actually supporting capabilities, I think she's pretty decent. Keep in mind, obviously it wasn't for the ideal character, but that I want to very like pinpoint and focus what she herself is capable of doing for sniper charge characters, i.e. like someone like Cinderella, which I think is going to be very good, or even OG Red Hood I think is possibly very good, and then Liberario I think is another option to really see what she's able to do for those individual characters. But yeah, that's gonna be all for me, guys, and I'll see you all within the next video.